So, hello everyone, welcome back to the 21 days meditative art ritual. And it's so overwhelming. Like, we are so close to our final sessions, just a handful of them. And it's incredible to see the artworks that you all have produced in this period of time. They're just amazing. And I'm so happy to see that the whole motive of this thing, like for you all to get into art, take out time for yourself and create and enjoy and meet new people is actually happening. So that's amazing. Today we have Neera. We connected a long time ago, and just like both of us were creating art, are creating art, and then just connected over Instagram and then always kept in touch. And Neera was also a part of this before, which I did when I did these sessions over Instagram, and I just felt she is the right person to be there this time as well, even though she was on a break. But I was like, no, she should be there because her works and the way she photographs them are so simple yet beautiful, elegant. And the designs also very simple, but trust me, when you start, figuring out like how to draw them, they're actually like intricate. So today, Neera is going to teach us one of those designs, and it'll be a nice workshop where we will learn some tips and tricks from her. So it's not just a regular mandala, but it's like a design with some sort of geometry. And I will let Neera speak more about it.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Reena. Thank you so much for your kind words. So, as you all know, just a small thing about mandala. What is mandala? Mandala basically is mandala, which is actually a Sanskrit word for the universe, which means that, yes, it's in entirety, it's complete in itself, like the universe is. And so, obviously, we're using mandala for de stressing ourselves, for mental health, and it's used in several other, psychological things also now. And so even in the for this nine petal especially, so this nine petal flower, it has its symbolic meaning also. So it's basically could be symbolizes the nine planets or the nagraha, also the nine level of consciousness, you could say. So yes, so while drawing this, we are trying to basically de-stress ourselves. So please do not stress yourself drawing this. You don't understand something, you understand something. So I guess now we can start with our class. So basically, we start by dividing our page into half. So an A4 sheet will on the width be usually on a 21 centimeter. So I'm going to make markings at 10.5. And what we do is make markings at 2 points. That helps you make a straight line. So I've divided my paper horizontally and now a vertical division. So basically, you'll see A4 size sheet is 29.8 centimeters, it's like almost 30. So एक 15 centimeter के point पर we'll make a mark, and again another point at 15 centimeters so that we can draw a straight line. Yeah. That's it. Now, guys, let's have our compasses ready. The compass with a pencil. Measure a 7 centimeters in your compass. Guys, this measurement is important because if you see my drawing, the nine petal flower, the petals are okay. I haven't got the petals are quite stuck to each other. So if right now you follow my measurements, the petals are going to be very close to each other, back to back. If you change the measurements, then the other measurements will also have to be changed. So as of now, we stick to 7 centimeters. Yeah, and draw a circle. So now, with the help of a protractor, all we need to do is markings on at 40 degrees each. So on a space of 40 means one point at 40, the other at 80, then at 120, 160, 200, 240, 280, and 320. So basically with a gap of 40 degrees each, we have marked, right? Now, we do not need to draw complete lines through the markings you made, but with the help of the marking from the protractor, we need to make markings on a circumference now. I will just make them and show it to you. These are the markings I'm making. These are the 40-degree markings. You don't need to pull on a whole line with this. So, from the center to the circumference, we're going to make markings at 40 degrees. Right. Once the markings are done, I want you all to rub the line from the center, please, because that will only create confusions later when we do not need these lines anymore. Keep using your compass with pencil only. Please show me a thumbs up once your 40-degree marks are done. Oh, I skipped one. So basically on the circumference, please make a count that you made 9 markings. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Are we sorted till here? Girls, is there anyone who is drawing with us? Or you all are just seeing and then later on, achha, you are drawing, yeah? Okay, great. Once your 40-degree marks are made, please make a measurement on your compass at 6.1 millimeter. See, girls, as I told you, we need all the 9 petals to be great, Saroj. So I'll keep the speed accordingly, since you guys are drawing. So we need a 6.1. I'll tell you why. So the moment I used a 6 centimeter as my measurement, my petals were not touching each other. Once this step that I'm going to tell you is proceeded with, then you'll realize what I'm saying. So even 6.1 for you might be a kind of a trial and error kind of a thing. So for me, a 6.1 worked where the petals were touching each other. So let's keep our compasses on the 40-degree mark. Let us just keep our compass point on the 40-degree mark that we made. Measurement of 6.1 centimeter in my compass. I am going to draw an arc which is something more than a semicircle, not a semicircle, but something more than a semicircle. And this I do on 4 consecutive points. Only on fourth consecutive point will you get to know whether your petals are touching each other or not. And in that case, we will either increase or decrease the compass by a millimeter or so. So that's the second one I'm going to draw. Shift your compass from the 40-degree mark to the second 40-degree mark. Very, kind of accurately keep your compass on the point. On the third mark, 1 petal has been made. On the fourth mark, I realized that, see, my second petal is made and the 2 petals are touching each other very well. This is what we need. There's going to be a gap if you take a smaller one. and it's going to overlap if it is bigger than the needed one. So with 6.1 centimeter, I keep it at the 40-degree mark I made on the circumference and draw an arc which is slightly bigger than a semicircle. Once this arc is made, I shift my compass to the next 40-degree mark I had made, to the consecutive 40-degree mark, and again draw a slightly bigger semicircle, an arc. Once I put my compass on the third mark and drew the arc, one petal, the first petal was formed here. And then I put my compass on the fourth point and drew an arc, and here I realized that yes, both my petals are joined back to back. Once your petals start joining back to back, it means that the measurement of 6.1 centimeter worked very well. And then we consecutively keep using the marks we have made and keep drawing the petals, right? Now, just going back while we are drawing, don't stop drawing. If you realized, I made you mark 40 degrees. So the importance of 40 degrees was obviously a circle is 360 degrees. So if I divide it by 9, because I want 9 petals back to back, it comes to 40 degrees, and hence giving me 9 petals. Now, just imagine you want 6 petals, then you draw the gap at 60 degrees. So you want 5 petals, you divide 360 by 5 and consecutively mark circumference with your, and then you can make as many petals as you wish to. It's always easier to choose a number with which 360 is equally divisible wholly, not in fractions. So if you see, I have very well made 9 petals that are touching back to back. Again, putting your compass on the 40-degree mark and reducing your radius by just a millimeter. We are trying to draw the inner second line to your petals. तो पूरा arc ना ही draw करें because that will make it untidy. बीच में gap दे दें. Now that the petals are very clear to you, let us just make the second lines, which is just almost a millimeter less than 6.1, which will come to almost 6 centimeters. And हर circle के ऊपर हर point पे वापस से रखते जाएंगे तो we'll get this second inner circle. So if you've seen the usual mandala patterns also that we make, we generally try to give an outline or a second line. Only makes our drawing look neater. So that is the whole purpose of drawing the second one. Right?
Can you show the second circle again, how to make?
Yeah. Again, put your compasses at the same point of the 40-degree mark on the circumference as you had made the petal. Only reduce your radius by 1 millimeter. Keep your keep your compass on the drawing. Try to make the inner circle like this. It's almost like 6 centimeters as your radius now. Repeating your compasses back at the same point. So what happens is usually I try to rub the point of my compass and get the same point which I had used previously. You can't have a new center, otherwise your petal second line is never going to be very clear. So please look for the old center point that you use on your 40-degree mark. Use the same point to draw the second line. See, if you all can see, I have made a few petal second lines have been done. Run your compass on the circumference and you'll surely get the point which you had used previously. This one's going to be much easier than the previous one. We already have the compass points dug into our paper. Once the 9 petals have been done, it's basically half the battle, more than half the battle won. So it's like after that, we are only going to innovatively or very randomly fill in patterns. Abhi bhi we keep using our compasses with pencil only. Please do not get your pens right now. Again, get your compasses out. This time, take a 2 or a 2.1 centimeter as your radius. Here it is. I am reducing the radius to same. In fact, I would suggest 2.3 centimeter radius ले लीजिए in your compasses. 2.3 centimeters and putting your compass point in the original center. एकदम पहले वाला जो सर्कल का सेंटर था, प्लीज वहीं पे कॉम्पस रख के draw another circle. And girls, this time for this circle, you can very well use your pen because this is the final circle. हम लोग को ये बाद में रब नहीं करना है और ये आप पेन से बना लेंगे तो it will really help you later on with your other pen drawings. 2.4 millimeter, 2.4 centimeter का circle बनाने के बाद में I have made another circle with 2.2 centimeters. Two circles consecutively 2 millimeters apart. And this I have drawn with a pen. मैंने पेन से बनाया तो I'm sure it's really prominently standing out that I have used the center which was the original center of the 7 centimeters. Please don't use the other points. Using the original center as a center and 2.4 centimeters as your radius, please draw a circle in the center as if it's the center of the flower. Changing the radius to 2.2, we draw another circle. And this is what we have, the final outcome. Using this circle as a point of starting, I again change back my measurement of compass to 6.1. Basically, repeating the pencil outlines with my pen this time because we ultimately have to use a pen, right? So I am just repeating what I had done so that now, instead of pencil, we can now make it permanent lines with our pens. खाली जो पेंसिल से पेटल्स बनाई थी हमने, I am converting that to pen because now I have the inner circle. ये सर्कल पर हमारी लाइन खत्म हो जा रही है. Please don't pull the petals inside. We don't need our petals inside the circle. Right? So एक बार पेन से make a few outlines for almost 3 to 4 petals, and then you can make the inside also for 3 to 4 petals so that we can learn how to fill it in. And guys, because हम लोग हाथ से बना रहे हैं, and there's something called a very normal compass or a measurement or a human error. If you feel that while drawing it with pen, your petals are overlapping, please just be smart enough to lift your pen where you don't want it to overlap and could be reduce your radius or increase your radius for the petals as needed. इतना सा एक approximation आपको mind में रखना होगा while making it. Mine is working well with 6.1. once you've done this, you can rub the extra lines that we have inside the center circle. इसके बाद जो पहले हमने किया था वापस से सेम 40 डिग्री पॉइंट्स पे कॉम्पस रख के एंड 6.1 की जगह 6 सेंटीमीटर्स मार्किंग लेके हम लोग इसके पेटल्स के अंदर वाली सेकंड लाइन को ड्रॉ कर लेंगे विद अ पेन. And girls, again, I kind of, unknowingly or consciously, unconsciously put my compass at the same point where I have previously done. There is a small little, dent that comes on your circumference when you're using your compass. So I look for the same dent and use it as a place to keep my point of the compass. इससे हमारी lines बहुत ही parallel बनती हैं. In case you happen to keep it at new places, then you will see that your lines, your inner line will not be as parallel to the outside as it should be. And there are times when your compass just happens to swing and you created a line bigger than needed. So the trick to get it rubbed off is only by using a white gel pen. You have these white gel pens. You can use that over your black pen lines. So आप लोगों से बातें करते करते I have kind of finished my second line also. The fine liner pen that I have in my compass is a 0.8 millimeter, but you can use a 0.5 for sure. Like I have this pen inside my compass permanently. It's a 0.8. But 0.5 is a very good pen to be put into your compass for like a long time because it's a very universal kind of a pen tip. Yes. Now, get in your pencil compasses, please. Repeated pencil compasses. Get me 5.5 centimeters for radius. A millimeter here or there, this time is not making a difference, itna zyada. And now with this, please make, a circle. If possible, lift your compasses and make the line only in the petals so that you don't have to rub later on. Just make the lines in your petals. I have used 5.5 centimeter. We've come here. So basically, I'm teaching you how to make patterns in the petal. If you kind of see a bit of homework that I had done, I would like to share with you all. So this is what I was just randomly trying to play. So I was trying to make some lotus here with some petals here and some random designs in center. But then I think I like this a lot, where I have used random patterns to fill in the petal. This one. And I even like the idea of having a semicircle mandala inside each petal. हम लोग हर petal में ये semicircle mandala बना सकते हैं जो मैं अभी आप लोग को सिखाऊंगी. And if we have enough time, I can even teach you how to make this random petal also with random patterns. एक मैंने ये भी बनाया था. I don't know if you are like you want to use it, you can take a screenshot and keep it, or fill in the petals as you. Once you've done that, please put the compass on the petal at 5.5 point. Bring in your compasses to as small as possible. मैंने 0.5 mm लिया है, half a centimeter. Right? Draw a small little circle. Increase my measurement to 6 millimeters. Draw a second circle. Then another one at 1 centimeter. फिर उसके लिए आउटलाइन के लिए 1 millimeter दूर एक और circle. Right? Now 1 centimeter away, one more circle. And then last में compass को ले आएंगे हम लोग to a measurement that the pencil line touches the outside of my petal. We start at 0.5 mm, then a 0.6 mm, then at 1 centimeter, 1.1 centimeter, then at almost 1.8 centimeters, or नहीं 1.7 पे कर सकते हो आप. And then the last circle, please adjust it so that your pencil line touches with the outer, the other side of the petal. Now, I'm choosing a 0.3 mm pen. It's a 0.3 mm. पहले वाले सर्कल को आप अगर चाहो तो प्लीज हाथ से बना लो. Much easier than using a pen compass, because इतने छोटे सर्कल में ना you tend to miss the center. वो compass center से मिलते ही जाते हैं, and then the pen gives you markings, right?
Hi, Neera. There's a question. If you could just repeat what you have just told.
Okay, so 5.5 सेंटीमीटर के जो मैंने लाइन ड्रॉ की थी उसको मैंने यूज किया है ऑन वन साइड ऑफ द पेटल एज ए सेंटर टू कीप माई कॉम्पस. 5.5 वाले पे मैंने अपना कॉम्पस रखा. आई एम रिपीटिंग इट हियर. 5.5 वाले सर्कल पे मैंने अपना सेंटर कॉम्पस रखा. प्लीज यू कैन सी द स्क्रीन so it is clear to you. And then I took a 0.5 mm in my compass and I drew a circle. Then a second circle at 6 millimeters. Basically, we're trying to draw the outline to this circle. उसके बाद 4 mm से इंक्रीज करके मैंने एक और सेमी सर्कल बनाया, उसको भी आउटलाइन दिया. So basically, if you keep seeing the screen once, you'll understand what I'm trying to do. Right? Another one circle. And the outermost circle with the same center, I want to use a pencil one because I want to put some patterns on the outside. इस बार क्या रेडियस लेंगे? समथिंग जिससे हमारा पेंसिल मार्किंग जो है वो पेटल के अदर साइड को छू जाए. इंक्रीज योर radius to touch the outside of the other petal. I started here, I ended here. 0.5 mm, 0.6 mm, 1 centimeter, 1.1 centimeter. Then a 1.6 centimeter. उसके बाद लास्ट जो है मैंने पेंसिल से बनाया. Run. And we are going to have a floral pattern in the center one. नेगेटिव स्पेसिंग जो बीच में बचती है पेटल्स के बीच में, we can fill that with our pens. First layer done. So basically I've used two different patterns in two different petals, right? अब मैं नेक्स्ट लेयर में जा रही हूँ जिसमें मैंने इन्वर्टेड यूज बना रही हूँ. If you can see, these are inverted U's. We try to keep the size of each U quite identical to each other. So please do it slowly. Now, एक फाइन पेन लिया मैंने 0.005 का, ताकि मैं छोटी छोटी गैप्स में सर्कल्स बना सकूं. मोटे पेन से यहाँ सर्कल नहीं बन पाएगा. Using a fine pen to make tiny circles. I'll just remove my hand so you guys can see it better. In between the inverted U's, हर U के माउंट के बीच में we are going to draw a circle, right? Inverted U's में basically I'm filling them with a line and a dot. Yeah. Right. Should I proceed to the third layer? अगर आप लोग पूरा नहीं भी बनाते तो you can just do a few patterns and then complete it later. Right? So in the third layer, again, coming back to my 0.3 pen, going to make some, and have a look at this pattern. Right? इसके बाद we draw a leaf kind of a pattern. Again, this circle, a spiral basically, and then again a leaf. I'll just remove my hands for you all to see this pattern. It's basically a spiral and a leaf, leaving a lot of negative space ऊपर and नीचे where we can fill in other things. Yes. Yeah, right? Now, नीचे की तरफ negative space में I'm going to put in a circle. Girls, this is about mandala. So patterns, whoever is comfortable with whatever and whatever their creativity is, asking them to make, you can make here. This is just an option that I'm showing you. बची हुई जगह में ऊपर I'm going to make very fine, thin, vertical lines to fill in the space. Right? And I had not drawn a second line, so I draw a second line here about this circle. So basically, I have drawn 3 semicircles, and all 3 have an outer line. सब में दो line का semicircle बना है. But the outermost line right now is with a pencil. Right? Sure. For the outermost one, I want to have something floral like this. I'll remove my hand after drawing 3 or 4 of these petals, so you can have a closer look. And yes, the outline is still with a pencil. Please don't use a pen for the outline. Yes. So girls, if you observe, when I'm making the flowers, it's kind of like this. I haven't made straight ones. ये straight petal भी बनाने का एक तरीका होता है. ठीक है? लेकिन I have made it like this. So that दो consecutive petals के बीच में नीचे की तरफ एक बहुत ही even space है. Just for the aesthetics of it. This is how I like it. ये करके हम बीच की space को तो obviously भी fill in, because it is too small for me to add in a circle here. अगर आपके में काफी जगह हो तो you can obviously make small little tiny circles here. I'm filling it black. इससे क्या है ना, एक तो brightness आती है. कहीं कहीं जगह पे अगर we fill in black in between, तो the patterns just pop up. Right. Now, inside the pattern, one curved line, second curved line, and a dot. One curved line, second curved line, and a dot. Right? We have 2 curved lines with a dot in the center. Yeah. On this, we will add circles between the 2 petals. Petals के बीच में हम लोग circles add करेंगे. Right? And now, with a much thicker pen, that's a 0.8 mm, with a 0.8 mm pen, and putting some pressure, I'm going to give an outline to this. Okay? Guys, with the same pen, we can make lines thicker and thinner using pressure. मैंने 0.8 mm pen use किया है and I have used a lot of pressure also because I want this to look thick. Yeah. Once this is done, I'll use the eraser to rub my pencil lines from this petal. Right? अब जो बची हुई जगह है, I'm going to make very thin pink stripes in it using a 0.1. आपके पास इतने variations हैं pen के, good enough. You don't have variations, it really does not matter. You can use the thinner pen that you have. Any thin pen is good for this. And I'm going to make lines in the petal remaining space. I'll just remove my hand so you can see what I have really done. Yeah. This. Now, if you see, because of the thicker outline that we gave to the last petal, the whole, thing, it's quite ubra hua. It's like popping out. We need to have this thick outline. This is one way that the petal can be filled in. I will. Were you able to understand how I created the semicircle inside the petal? All of you, please show a thumbs up if you could understand that. Very good, yeah. Now coming to the center of the circle. So this is taking 1.5 centimeter as radius. I draw a circle with a pen. That's 1.5 centimeter. Now with 1 centimeter as radius, I draw the other circle. 0.9 centimeters and I draw the circle. Now, center circle, if you can draw with your compass, very good. Otherwise, you can just use your free hand also. जो outermost circle है, again ऊपर हमने कैसे किया था, we are going to use a pencil compass. Okay. पेंसिल कॉम्पस लेके हम लोग बाहर वाले में 2 मिलीमीटर गैप छोड़ के ऊपर से एक तो पेंसिल से आउटलाइन ड्रॉ कर देंगे. Yeah, guys. So from the centimeter, from the center, it's like 0.9 mm and 1 centimeter. Then 1.5 centimeters. Okay, 3 pen lines at 9 mm, 1 centimeter, 1.5 centimeter. The outermost is a pencil line at 2 centimeters. Using a free hand, I have divided the center circle into 4. Okay. And then into 8. It's such a tiny circle. An approximation works. We really do not need a protractor for this. Now, gently creating small curves on the edges like this, which is going to make basically petals. Girls, you can see this on the screen. I divided the center circle into 8. And then I'm just drawing curves on the top. Right? Like this. Yes. Yeah. Then putting in a line and a dot. Mostly to fill in, otherwise it looks very empty. Second line हम पहले ही draw कर चुके हैं. Again, I'm going to draw a spiral, and this time an inverted U with the spiral. Again, another spiral, alternating this with an inverted U. This is how. This is basically one of the very few mandala patterns that we have been using. You can choose to use any mandala pattern of your choice here, right? So basically complete one whole spiral and then an inverted U. See, here it is, right? Now we have enough space between the U's and the spirals. So I would prefer to put in a circle and not just fill it black. अगर आपके पास जगह कम है, you can always fill it black. I have enough place, so I'm putting in circles, right?
Hi, Neera. This
Yeah,
itself
Veena.
is like a nice, intense online workout with you know, rotating all your pen, pencil, and all of that.
Oh,
I think it's
yes.
a
So,
nice online
Veena,
workout.
as you had told, as you had told, yes, it does look simple, but if you sit to do it, it does take a long time. But as I
Yes,
told you, it is something that we do to reduce our stress and not to build up stress. So please put in
yes,
15, 20 minutes at a go. Then relax yourself. If you're feeling very heavy, then come back to the pattern. So for the last layer, I would like to repeat what we had repeated here, you know. So जब एक repetition होता है pattern का more than once, it does make your mandala look very symmetrical also. So if I have the outermost pattern as this, इस center में भी हम लोग outermost pattern यही use करेंगे and in a similar way. So मैंने pencil से जो line बनाई है, please see that I will draw my petals. Please take a 0.3 mm. Yeah, I will draw my petals only till the pencil lines, please, so that there is some space upstairs. Now, I could have very randomly done this freehand also, but I always prefer to draw this pencil line so that I can follow, which, you know, after rubbing, your circle does come out much more symmetrical and neater. Yeah. So this is how I want the florals to come. Now, filling in the negative spaces black, putting in circles between the petals, and then I'm just doing a part of this. You can try and finish it also. ये करने के बाद you use a 0.8 mm again. Use your pressure. Give it a good outlet. Right. Once the outline is done, we would again, with a 0.1 mm or a 0.005 mm, whichever pen you have, let us fill this with two semicircles and a dot. Two semicircles and a dot. छोटे छोटे line यहाँ पे, so that your patterns do look complete. If you have more space, you can use 3 lines instead of 2. And ये जो ऊपर जगह बची है between our pattern and the center, you can choose to leave it plain and empty. Or again, जैसे हमने ऊपर किया था, I would like to draw very close line, vertical lines for filling this space. Yes. So again, going back, the main story was having 9 petals touching each other, which once you know the calculations becomes simpler. After that, filling in the center and the petals with patterns is up to your choice. This is how I have done it randomly right now as I wanted to. And the next time you sit to do it, you know, your brain automatically works some other way, and you might just think of some other pattern to fill in. But that is creativity, that is how you want to do it at that moment. So I guess, yes, this drawing is complete. And there were a few more patterns that I had tried to, today morning I sat with this as to what I could really teach. So there were these, though they look very untidy and rough, because yes, it was a rough work for me. But yeah, you can just see these for inspirations if you wish to. And any doubts, you can always message me on WhatsApp. My Instagram handle is Neera Junjunwala in case you want to DM me. And thanks a lot, Veena, for looping me in. I really had a very good 1 hour today after a very long time teaching
That's
everyone. Yeah.
wonderful, Neera. Wonderful, wonderful, really. Yeah, Saroji is trying to show her work. Wonderful work. Really proud
Yes.
of.
Very, very nice, Saroj. Very nice. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you
Oh,
so
I can see
much.
Shamal also. Very neat work, girls. Very neat work.
Yeah, it was a bit tough in the starting, I think, for everyone to figure out what is going on with the measurements and everything. But I'm glad to see how they all managed to get it at the end. I would like to take the moment and show what I have done. So I've not done the detailing,
Oh,
but I've
wow.
changed. I've done a variation. So instead of the circle in between, I have it like pointed at the end also towards the center.
Yes. Oh, lovely, lovely. So creative. Yeah. You made a complete petal. So it's like a star in the center. Yeah.
Exactly,
Beautiful,
exactly,
Veena. Nice
yes. So I
variation.
think the possibilities are so endless.
Yes, they are. Art is just an hobby, and still at this point of life, giving time to what you love to do is like a blessing if you can do that. Yeah.
Say something? I know I'm usually quiet, but I genuinely enjoy all of these classes. So thank you so much for organizing them. And actually, Nina, I've taken one of your courses before where you had done the yin yang with the flower, but that was like 2 years ago. It was a
Oh,
while
I
ago that I had
know
taken.
that what you're talking about. Yeah, it's like the yin and yang mandala, but with a sort of
It
a
was
sacred geometry.
51
Yes,
workshop.
Yes,
I
I
yes.
attended
remember.
51 workshop.
Oh, wow. It's but really nice to see, faces coming back to your
Exactly.
class.
Like
Veena.
that's the whole
Just
reason, I like doing these workshops because you kind of get to meet people again. And then वो एक connection सा बन जाता है ना कि वही लोग जिन्होंने
yes.
लोग taught them before वही लोग वापस आ रहे हैं तो it's a really nice feeling कि भाई अच्छा लगता है definitely. Thank you so much, Neera. I'm glad that you came and you took the session today. Like I told in the start, which my words were proven true, that it looks simple. It's just a petal, 9 petals, but honestly, the process of constructing it is so intrigued. And I am now wondering, like, when you must have been doing it, how it was for you, like now you
Oh,
know
yeah.
how the result is, but at that time you were like, okay, let's experiment. But it can be frustrating also at times when things are not working out. I guess this is where mandala art really teaches you patience also.
Yes, true that. Yeah, it is true. So I had used n number of rough sheets. So basically, my drawing sheets are either 200 sm, GSM, or 300 GSM. But trust me, when I start with patterns, I make sure that I'm using, printout wastes from the house. So because n number of papers are used before you really come down to the right calculation. So yeah, recycling the papers so that getting maximum optimum usage. And it does take a long time, but the kind of satisfaction you get at the end when your measurements are totally done, and it's like, wow, voila, yeah, done. I've come to the right thing. It is fun, yes.
Lovely.
Okay, then, guys, bye. Nice meeting you all. I'd like to take a leave. Yeah, bye bye.
Thank you, everyone. All take care. See you tomorrow. Bye.